What up, world? It's your boy Shelvin.
And Lady Roz.
And Deisha.
What's up, Deesh? How you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. This is the voice that y'all most of the time be hearing on the backside. She finally came in front of the camera so y'all can see her face, man. We're so glad to have you on here, man, for real. For real. It is an honor to have you on. How you doing, Lady Roz?
I'm good for Monday.
For Monday? Well, Mondays are tough, man, especially after a Cowboys loss. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but hey, my Mondays are real tough with that Cowboy loss on Sunday. I'm telling you, I got to deal with all these Cowboy haters, and they be coming at us all kind of ways. But, you know, it is what it is. I ain't even tripping. It's Monday. We going to work it out. But check this out, man. Last week we talked about venting in therapy, venting in counseling. And I think it was a very, very good topic. We talked about a lot of stuff on that thing, man, like, you know, a lot of us venting online and doing all this kind of stuff online. I don't think that's the proper way to vent. I think if you get to a point where you feel like you're dealing with a lot of situations, you find somebody that you can talk to, and a lot of times that's therapy, that's counseling. And, hey, a lot of times we need that. Like, a lot of times we need that, and I don't think it's a bad thing for somebody to get therapy. I think it's a bad thing for you to sit there and try to figure out things by yourself when you don't have the necessary tools to get past whatever you're going through. So we talked about venting in therapy. That was a good topic. I mean, how you feel about it?
Oh, I think that was an awesome topic.
Yeah, it went real well. You were tuned in. You were tuned in.
Yes, it was a good topic. It was a great topic, actually. I mean, because then when you, like you say, are you venting?
Oh, you need some professional help.
Say, man, people be all up on the book with it. You know what I'm saying? Just showing their business and all that old kind of stuff, man. We got to do better. We got to do better. Man, look, like, follow, and share. Please like, follow, and share. We want to get this podcast out there, man. Like I say every Monday about this time, man, we just want to be a positive platform for the community and be a voice to the voiceless. We talk about a lot of stuff on here, and we definitely appreciate your comments. We appreciate everything y'all say to us, and like I say to everybody, man, your perspective has no wrong answers. I don't want you to feel like you can't say what you want to say because somebody might disagree with you. People's perspective is their perspective. You base your perspective off your experiences in life, and you base your perspective off where you're going. Everybody's not going your direction. And so, we got to do better when it comes to, voicing our opinion, because a lot of times we won't get through it unless we start walking through it, and we can't walk through it unless we talk through it, because sometimes you just got to speak yourself through some stuff. And I think that is a very, very powerful weapon to be able to speak yourself through situations. What y'all think?
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah, it's important because a lot of times, we end up shutting down. And the last thing I think you want to do is to shut down on you. You know what I'm saying? You're worth, getting the help. You're worth putting in the effort for you. I mean, nobody else will put in the effort for you. I don't think nobody else will. And a lot of times it's not, that they're, downgrading you or, just don't care about what you're going through or nothing like that. I think it's just because we all go through our own situations, and everybody's battling something. You're not the only person battling something. Everybody's battling something, and I think that if we are to, get past the battle, we got to learn how to face them head first, and, we our own worst enemy. I say that all the time because I am my biggest critic. I promise you, I'm my biggest critic. I criticize myself on every turn. And I think I do it so much to where I kind of, project that on other people. And I need to work on that. And it's just part of, growth. We can't be projecting our emotions on other people. Right. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people won't even understand why we're saying that. And so, yeah, if you gonna comment, please comment, man. We look forward to your comments. We appreciate your comments, and we definitely appreciate you tuning in to the hottest podcast on this side of heaven. We go get this thing out there one way or the other. Man, just please like, follow, and share. She said people tend to be lovers of themselves, but there are instances where people will genuinely have love for you. Yeah, for real. And I think a lot of times we don't even expect that no more because we've been hurt by so many people who we thought loved us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so we start to shut down. And, when you shut down like that, it doesn't hurt anybody else but you. Like, who else is it hurting? You shutting down on your purpose. You shutting down on your dreams. You shutting down on your goals. And it's not to hurt nobody else. It's just going to hurt you. It's going to prevent you from getting to where you're going in a timely fashion. And so, yeah, we definitely got to do better. And just comment, man. Look, I'm going to read your comments. I promise I'm going to read your comments. If it come in, I'm going to read it. We go talk about it. We go walk through it. But so, oh man, I told y'all were gonna love this topic this week. I told y'all were gonna love this topic this week. I'm glad y'all tuned in. Y'all ready for it? Y'all ready for it? Everybody get ready for it. This week's topic, we're gonna be talking about compatibility. Compatibility. Man, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. So first, what I want y'all to do is I want y'all to put y'all definition of what compatibility is to you in the comments. I want you to put it in the comments because I want to know your perspective on what compatibility is. Now, I'm going to go to the Webster's Dictionary for what compatibility is. It is a state in which two things are able to exist or occur together without problems or conflict.
All right. I don't know about the conflict.
Let me say that one more time so y'all can get this definition in y'all real quick because I don't know if this book is right on point. I don't know if it's... Let me say it one more time. It's a state in which two things are able to exist or occur together without problems or conflict. Wow. That's interesting.
Then nobody's compatible.
Say, man.
Because it's always going to be some type of conflict. I mean, it could be as simple as what we eating tonight.
Man.
Like, I feel like that's one of the biggest ones.
Lord have mercy.
What you gonna eat? I'm like, I don't know.
So does that mean we're not compatible because we can't decide on the same thing?
According to the definition,
we're not fooling with Webster.
You may not make it. You may not make it according to the definition. But I don't know. What do you think? What's your definition on compatibility?
I do think you have to be of like mind, so to speak. You have to be on the same page.
Okay.
Okay. At least in the same book. And,
okay.
You know, it's kind of like, okay, to be compatible, we got to know what the end is. At least we're trying to both get to the same place, the same destination.
Right.
So now we might have different ideas in regards to how we're going to get there. But at least if we agree that, okay, this is where we're trying to go.
Right.
But we can't be, I can't be saying, okay, we're going here, and he's saying we're going there.
Well,
and remember
that can be a very, very divisive thing. You know, that can divide a household. You know, division, die meaning two, vision meaning vision. So two visions in one household. That's a tough battle to deal with. I ain't gonna lie.
But that'll go back to me or my perspective in regards to the head of the household. But
say what you feel. Say what you feel.
Because we know what Calvin gonna say. But wait a minute before we get there, because he's supposed to be the head of the household.
Okay.
So, in essence, then we're supposed to be going with his vision.
Okay.
Because he's the head of the household in the Christian household.
Okay.
Okay. So we know that there are people. Okay, if they're not Christians, then that's gonna be a totally different playbook for them.
Okay, well, put a distinction on it. Put a distinction on it. We don't want, we don't want to exclude nobody. We'll put a distinction on it. Okay, so in the Christian household, I get you what you're saying. I get what you're saying. What you got, Deesh? What's your perspective on compatibility?
Well, my perspective of compatibility, I can agree and attest with some of the stuff that Lady Ross just said, but I just don't feel that. I just think that
say what you feel.
I just think that like she said, we got a common goal that we're trying to get to, and long as we're getting to the common goal, we're gonna be good. As long as we can communicate that,
right?
But when the communication stops, then I think that's where the compatibility stops. Where what you're saying, because if we're not talking about it and we're not constantly communicating with each other about what we're doing and what the road that we're supposed to be traveling together,
right,
then hey, we're gonna be good on our compatibility. We ain't gonna always like the same things, and we're not always gonna have the same views, but our end goal should be the same.
right.
Yes.
Okay, I can dig that. I can dig that. For y'all who just tuned in, man, let me read what the definition of compatibility is. I want y'all to take this definition wholeheartedly. Take it to the heart and think about your relationships. When I say this definition, all right, it is... I can't even say this without laughing. It's a state in which two things are able to exist or occur together without problems or conflict. All right. Y'all heard that? Without problems or conflict. Now, when you hear this definition, are you able to look at your relationships and say we compatible? Just by the definition. By the definition.
By the definition, absolutely not.
Right.
Ooh. Well, why you say that?
Because there's going to be conflict. Because Calvin has his hand up over there.
So in addition to what you Googled, I Googled conflict.
Ooh,
so,
conflict.
Because I think it's a misunderstanding of what conflict is.
All right.
Okay? Conflict is a struggle and a clash of interests. To disagree doesn't make it a conflict. To continuously disagree makes it a conflict.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay.
You know,
Yes.
with food, I wouldn't look back. When I lay down and go to sleep with my wife, I wouldn't look back on the day and say, man, we disagreed about food. We had a lot of conflicts today.
Right.
I wouldn't think about it like that.
Right.
But if it's a continuous problem at the core of our relationship, I mean, Webster claims it to be a serious disagreement or argument.
Right. So you wouldn't think that what we go eat tonight is a conflict?
Not at all.
No, that's just a disagreement. We just can't make up our mind.
Ever. Ever. We can't never get on the same page with what we go eat.
Right.
No, I'm just jiving. Conflict is something that happens in relationships. It's going to happen. I don't think any relationship will exist or be able to, persevere without problems or conflict. I think a lot of times conflict actually shows the true colors of the other individual. Like, you don't know who a person is until y'all have problems.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's all good as long as everything's good. But the moment of that first real problem, you go see who they really are. I guarantee it. And they gonna show you.
You can't grow without.
You can't grow without that, because you're gonna have to have conflict to see how you're gonna be able to deal with real life situations.
Right.
You know, especially in relationships, because if we can't have a discussion or a disagreement, and it go, if we can't disagree on something, it go bow this way here. I'm
right.
Like, wait, hold on.
Right.
You know what triggered you that where it got to go this way?
Yeah.
And you just say, hey, I just said stop over here and let me get some chips out here. and you blow up.
Sure, they been waiting to get you.
Right.
They been waiting.
So what's the real issue? Because that can't be the issue.
Well, a lot of times, that's something that really got to be discussed early. You really want to catch those kind of things early on, because sometimes there could be some personal stuff, like some narcissism or some stuff like that. But you got to kind of put that stuff out in the front, because if you pull that stuff out in the end, like when you got those real feelings, it's gonna be hard to break that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be hard to break that bond. And so a lot of times, what people would do, I heard a wise woman say, "Man, go ahead and have your problems early." Go ahead and get your attitudes out early. That way you know who you're dealing with.
Right.
Matter of fact, create problems. Wow. That's exactly what I did. Like, what? Create problems? Just create situations and see how they act, see how they react to them. And that way you will be able to kind of, calculate or gauge who they are as an individual. I ain't giving y'all no game. I'm just telling you it's free game. You know what I'm saying? Use it how you use it, but be careful, because you might not see the person you think you with.
Exactly.
Well, and that's actually would be a good idea, because a lot of times in relationships or when people are dating in the beginning, some people have their representative show up.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So if the representative show up and you created some issues, and hey, the mask gonna probably fall on off.
Fall off. They gonna throw that booger. Like, shoot, yeah, I knew. Yeah, let me tell you what I really think about you.
And what you really don't know is,
your little homegirl already told me.
Right.
Y'all ain't right.
Say,
Yeah.
we all the way hood with it. Literally,
Your homeboy told me 3 weeks ago, and I'm just waiting for you to tell me. See,
I've been waiting for you to, I've been waiting for it to come out. Man, it's crazy. But that happens. So what is y'all perspective? What's your definition on compatibility? What's compatibility to you? I know y'all waiting for me to get to my definition of compatibility, but I really want to hear what y'all feel like compatibility is. Because compatibility is different to everybody. And I think a lot of times, compatibility turns into a lot of other things. So compatibility can actually be, I think compatibility is used to encourage each other. It should be used to encourage each other, not as a weapon, but as an exercise. A lot of people use compatibility as a weapon, which turns it into competition. So what happens when compatibility turns into competition?
You got some serious problems.
yeah, y'all ain't
on the same page.
Y'all not growing. Somebody then stopped somewhere to where the other one then proceeded to where y'all not communicating.
So, Calvin, you said something before we went. I'm finna get to you, Queen. I'm finna get to the comments in a minute. You said something before we went on, Calvin. I want you to really repeat that because I think that was a very, very great perspective on what you said. So, when does compatibility become competition?
So I feel that it's when somebody feels undervalued or not appreciated.
Okay.
It's when you can be, whether it's financial, whether it's spiritual, mental, whatever it is. It's when the other person feels like that they're not capable or they're less than or they're not able to do X, Y, Z.
Okay.
Now they feel like, well, I got to show you.
Ooh.
Whereas I wanted us to get it together. Now you're saying that I'm not contributing.
Right.
You're saying that I don't bring nothing to the table.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that's a great insight.
Right.
That's a great insight. So now your compatibility has become a competition.
Right.
And we all know that to have a competition and a collaboration only creates confusion. I'll say that one more time. To have a competition and a collaboration only brings confusion. And we know what confusion does.
Absolutely.
Confusion has the power to tear anything apart. But so Shaquita wanted, which is my coach, she says, working well with each other, understanding, comprehension of one another. That's good. That's really good. That's good. So it's working with each other. Compatibility. So I'll tell y'all what my example of what compatibility is. Compatibility, I believe that God made everybody their own personal Bluetooth. Like my wife, that's my Bluetooth. We sync well together. Anytime I'm in her vicinity, we automatically connect. You know how you get to the house and you get around your Bluetooth, like when you put your iPhones in your ear, they must automatically. That's how me and my wife are. We sync together. Now, it doesn't have to be an iPhone. It doesn't have to be the same brand. Just has to be compatible. Like, are you compatible with me? Sometimes it doesn't. Some stuff just isn't compatible. Like if you play Call of Duty. Right, you can't play Call of Duty a lot of times on an Android. You can only play it on an iPhone because it's not compatible. Come on, y'all know y'all be on them games and stuff too. Oh, well, this for my boys to be on the game, for my homegirl to be on the game. When you play Call of Duty, you cannot play Call of Duty on an Android. You have to have an iPhone because it's not compatible with an Android. Why? Because it uses too much data. It's too big to do on an Android. So I think compatibility is not that we have all of the same morals, not that we have all of the same family values, not that we have all of the same lifestyle choices. I think it's just we fit, we sync together. You understand me.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's a difference. You can be with somebody who don't have your family values and understand you.
Right.
I think it's bad to be with somebody who do have your family values and don't understand you.
Right.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like, why are you doing that? Like, why you act like that? You know what I'm saying? And all that stuff. It's very, very hard to be in a relationship with somebody who just doesn't get you. Like, you be sending all kind of signs. Y'all know the love languages and stuff. They don't speak your language. You foreign to them. And so now everything you saying, whether it's verbally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, where everything you're saying just seems like it's causing more chaos than it's causing, some type of clarity in the relationship. And I think compatibility is one of those things that should encourage a person, to push each other. Now, at what point do you feel like compatibility becomes discouraging? Now that's a good question. Wow.
I guess if they're in competition, that's discouraging.
Yeah, because then you got to look at it like Calvin said. It's if you're discouraged by something, then you can't be combative because y'all not talking about it. And if you find a weakness in something that the other one, especially if you didn't know it and they ain't showed it, and so when they see that you can do it and they can't do it, and you're not comprehending or not even communicating on how did you get to that or how did you do that, so then I can see how it'd be discouraging because you discourage yourself when you didn't ask for the information for me to help you grow with me.
Right. And a lot of times that just comes with, the progression of the relationship.
Right.
A lot of times we grow. There's a saying that I just outgrew that individual. We don't have, like, I've seen couples actually split up with no hard feelings. I just outgrew them. I went too fast. I got to a certain level quicker than they did, and they wasn't ready. They wasn't ready to go there. So we separated because, I couldn't grow with them anymore. I had passed them. Now, I think that's discouraging. When compatibility becomes, discouragement. That's one of the ways that compatibility can become discouragement. Another way compatibility can become discouragement when it becomes, a nagging, agitating. Like, they growing, but they keep on telling you about all their successes and all your failures,
Right.
Man, I'm doing this, and you ain't doing nothing. You just keep on doing the same.
Well, we have some. Yeah, those are bigger issues outside of compatibility because at that point, you're not just being competitive, you're being disrespectful.
Oh, you talking that talk, huh? So now, hold on. So now you being disrespectful. Yeah. So let me ask you this.
So it's time for us to split.
Okay. So what's the difference between being disrespectful and being blunt?
Delivery.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Hey, y'all been checking my studies, man. I think y'all was in my notes.
It's the delivery because my thing of it is you can tell me what to do or you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do.
I get that.
You see what I'm saying?
I get what you said.
So my thing of it is if you your delivery, you may want me to do something some type of way.
Right.
Hey, babe, can you fix me a plate?
Right.
Okay. But then if you come to me the wrong way, go fix my plate.
Ooh.
Wait a minute. Where your mama at? Because that's what I'm finna ask you. Because that ain't how you gonna talk to me.
Right.
So that's when you become disrespectful. Yes. So it's a way.
So how does it even get there?
For some people, it was already in them.
Yeah. You seen it.
Yeah.
You knew it was there. That's what y'all call the red flag.
The red flag.
Oh,
The
man.
red flag,
Say
yeah.
for a second, everybody posting up
Because
them red flags.
because that's what they were accustomed to already in a relationship.
Uh-huh.
So for whatever reason, it's just they've been masked up.
Right.
And so now, the mask is off. And so, okay, so now you think you can talk to me in kind of way.
Right.
Now, player, we're not doing that.
Right.
So, Shaquita Wormley, can you put that on the screen, Calvin, what she put God said sometimes? It's finna pop up, man. She said something that was really good, man. I like what she said right there. She said, God says sometimes you have to leave those behind to get to the next level he's taking you. Some people build resentment towards you for that, but those who are cheering for you are the ones whom you need to keep around. But time tells you exactly what you need to know.
Absolutely.
Right.
Time ain't nothing but a snitch. Let me tell you. But oh, okay, it's too long. It won't show the whole thing on there. Time is a snitch. Time will tell on anybody. I promise you, if you ever looking for time to keep your secret, you in trouble. Time is gonna tell on you. That's really, really profound that you say that because time will actually expose people in situations where they think they're compatible, but secretly they were in competition. Let me explain what I'm saying. Sometimes a person will push you in a situation only to, on the other side, be trying to get past you. Like they'll push you in a direction that they're really not trying to go. You know what I'm saying? Just to get to another level. You understand what I'm saying? They're manipulating you.
Right.
Sometimes a person will do that. They'll manipulate you into this individual who they're really kind of, creating you to be for you to cheer them on.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
They really secretly discouraging you in your goals so you can cheer for them and theirs.
There it goes. Yeah.
Right. So if they get you out of your goals,
they gonna
say, right. They gonna say, oh, well, shoot, let me just cheer you on because it don't seem like my stuff working. That's messed up. That's messed up. So that is a secret competition that they're dealing with, and it's manipulative. Like they're really, really manipulating you into becoming or thinking that you're not worth what your dreams are telling you to do. And so instead of pushing your dreams, now you pushing their agenda.
Right.
And that's not a good compatibility. Right. That's incompatibility. And you got to be watchful of that stuff because compatibility can secretly be competition. It won't even be apparent. Now, some of us are in competition and we know we're in competition. That's the difference. But when you're in a competition and you don't even know you're in competition, that's a bad deal.
Right.
Now, we talked about compatibility in so many different levels and so many different ways, but what if you compatible financially? And I already asked y'all this, so y'all know what's coming. What if you compatible financially, but you're not compatible sexually?
Then it depends on how important is sex to you.
Okay.
Can you be in that relationship if you're compatible on all other levels? You know, we're compatible financially, spiritually, emotionally. I mean, we compatible in everything. But when it comes to sex, we not. So that's when you have to make a decision. Is this something that I can live with? I mean, that's when however you figure it out, okay? Do your list.
Say, and I know y'all on her. I know y'all on her. Look, it's 3 people in here, 4 people in here, 7 people on here right now. I know it's some other people in here. I want to know y'all take on this. Can you be in a relationship with somebody that you're compatible with on every level but sex? That's a hard question. Because if you don't know how to please yourself,
that's when it get hard because you got to know how. First of all, I thought that's the rule of thumb. First, you're supposed to learn how to self-pleasure yourself before somebody else can self-pleasure you. Because you got to know when they.
I didn't know that was a rule.
Well, I'm sorry.
I didn't know that was.
I thought. Well, well.
Hold on.
My rule is
disclaimer.
That if you don't know how to.
Hold up, I ain't see that coming.
Yeah, if you don't know how to make sure that you know how to self-please yourself. How can a man self-please you with certain things that you're going to want? Because sometimes you have to teach.
Some people have never explored their own sexuality, though. So how would they? That's sad.
That's sad.
Oh my God! What you got, Cav?
That's sad.
I pose another question. In addition to that, do we really believe? Do we really believe that in the order of what God intends for our life? Right?
Okay, go with it.
Do we really believe that if we follow that order, that our life will end in confusion? Because if God had his way, we wouldn't be having sex till marriage anyways.
Man.
So are we saying that God is wrong? Because if you get married and you're not sexually compatible, can that really exist?
Well, I don't think so. But I mean, that is in a perfect world too. I'm just gonna be honest.
I think it's possible.
Right.
Because here's what happens. You're talking about God and if he had his way. But is that the mate he gave you or is that the one you chose? Because if you chose the person,
hold on.
That when it comes to that, you can learn to please anybody.
Ooh.
That's just my personal belief.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. David say, come on, Calvin. David, you over here, you ain't coming in nothing, man. Let me know what you think compatibility is, man, because we talking about it, man. Please comment, man. Your comments are very, very needed. I want to bounce off y'all, man. But I don't know, Calvin. I really don't. Let me say this. Because there are just some people that are just incapable of reaching some levels in some people.
ooh,
That's just.
I agree.
But let me say this too. If you was to wait until marriage, how would you know that they were incapable? You know, but in a perfect world, that probably would work. But we live in a world where, shoot, these kids is having sex at 12, 13, sometimes earlier.
Right.
And some of them are being molested earlier, so they are having sex, you know, early, way before their time. And so marriage is, far down the road. And so we're dealing with reality of it, right? Now, I do believe that there are certain instances, certain things you can implement in the room that will help the sex life.
Right.
But if it's just solely incompatible, I don't think it's gonna be any way you can't present no toys, you can't present no lubricants, you can't present nothing. Like it's not gonna happen.
You can really change your mindset if you choose to, and I say that because
You can.
One thing I feel that ruins people's bedroom experiences and their sex life is if somebody's addicted to porn.
Ooh.
They're stuck in a fantasy.
Reality.
Not
reality.
Say, man, now some people can, man, it is people out there willing to perform those fantasies. You hear me? it's some people out there right there. Yeah, it is. It may not be, but
but you're used to seeing this on your phone, on your computer, wherever you watch it, and you're not. Most people who get addicted to porn is because they're not getting into the bedroom.
Right. And let me just say this, man.
But then that comes from lack of communication of what you want and
what you like.
Well, some of that happened from childhood. Let me tell you, when we was in apartments hustling, that's how they were playing on the trap TV. You know what I'm saying? Just porn all day. You know what I'm saying? And you go over your uncle. Y'all probably don't have them old uncles like we had. I had them old uncles. You go over their house, once 9 o'clock hit. It's whatever, you know what I'm saying? Come on, watch this. And you in there watching it, you like, man, what bro, this is what we doing? And you ain't finna just say no, you a child, right? So it can start at an early age, and you don't even know at that moment that you're being introduced to something that may cripple your sexuality, may cripple you in the bedroom. You might have, erectile dysfunction. Pornography will cause erectile dysfunction. I'm not trying to teach y'all all the things that porn does, but I'm just saying, I've been through it. I've been through that. Yeah, I've been through that. I said it. But I worked through that.
But that's the thing. You work through it. You go through it.
Right, but you got to work through those things. A lot of people feel like, that's their only avenue. A lot of people don't feel like they have another outlet. Sometimes it's just hard it's an addiction. And like any other addiction, it's not just going to be no overnight, okay, wham, bam, I'm done, boom. It's going to be something that you have to deal with for the rest of your life, actually. Like that's an addiction. And so, yeah, you're right. Pornography is one of the things that actually can affect the bedroom in a negative way. But also, on the side of pornography is your personal desires.
Right.
Your personal desires. You can have desires that they may not be willing to do, you know what I'm saying? And that's a form of incompatibility to you because, hey, they don't want to meet you at that level. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
It's just so different. But let's not hang around on sexual compatibility. Hold on, David done commented. David done commented. What you got, David?
See there?
He says, if we are true believers, respect, confidence, self-worth should be already established. If you were married and something happened to one of you that you both can't have sex, are you married to the person or sex?
Right? Exactly.
Right.
We talked about this.
Yeah, we did. And let's just say it's a lot of broken marriages out there. Oh, see? Y'all won't be real with me. It's a lot of broken marriages out there because of reality. So, let's go and move past sexual. y'all don't want to be real with me.
No,
it's a lot of people that have left the marriage because the sex got messed up.
But that goes back to what she was saying about self-pleasing yourself in regards to, because again, like David said, are you married to the person or to the sex?
Now let me ask you this, because I really don't want to dwell on that sexual, because it's already 7:33 and we got about 3 more things that I really want to talk about, and I don't want to dwell. We could stay there for a long time because sexual compatibility is something that we definitely, as people of flesh, we can talk about that for a long time. But let's talk about compatibility when we talk about spirituality. Can you be in a relationship with somebody who's not spiritually compatible with you?
No.
Ooh, why not?
Because how do we have the same goals?
That's good.
What is spiritual incompatibility? Are you talking about they don't go to church or they're Muslim? I mean,
There's a lot of ways to be spiritually incompatible, like different what they say religions.
Like, not
You
believing.
know, they Muslim, you Christian, or they Jewish and you Islam. It's a lot, that's an incompatibility. Or they believe in God, but they don't read their Bible like you do. They don't study like you do. They don't do the things. And every time you say something about God, shoot, what's up, man? Shoot, I don't want to talk about that right now. I want to talk about what we eating tonight. We ain't finna talk about that. So can you stay in a relationship where it's spiritually incompatible?
I don't think I could.
I don't think so.
I couldn't.
So do y'all all know? Anybody on here? Can y'all help me out on the chat? Can y'all help me out? Can you stay in a relationship with somebody that you're spiritually incompatible with? I think that
If you're also, if you're not into spirituality, then it's easy to get along with somebody who's not into spirituality.
okay, so y'all both not into spirituality, so that's a common ground. Boom, y'all just blind leading the blind. Blind leading the blind. Where we going today? But I don't know. So spiritual compatibility to me is not always, being at the same level of spirituality, but understanding each other's spiritual journey.
Right.
Absolutely.
I think that is important when it comes to spiritual compatibility. Like, I may not go to church every Sunday, but you see me dealing with my spirituality. I pray with you when you say let's pray. We pray at dinner time. And I even say a little extra word in there every now and then. I think I understand where you at, and I think that being the example of who God is to that individual will help them, along the way. And that is spiritual compatibility. I don't even think compatibility is, being, just right equal all the time. I think it's actually, understanding where we're at, and okay, well, I understand where you're at. Well, let's get to this next level. Let me push you. Let me drop some nuggets on you.
Right.
Let me put some things in front of you that will allow you to see it differently. And I think that's very important when it comes to spiritual compatibility. Now, intellectual compatibility. Can you be?
I had a quick question for you on spiritual compatibility. Because they kind of go neck and neck. Could you slightly explain what it means to be equally yoked?
Oh, okay. You want me to dive in that one? Okay, so equally yoked. What does it first mean to be biblically yoked? That's the question. A lot of people say we just, we got all of the same morals and we got all of the same this. I don't think that's what the Bible means when it says biblically yoked. To be yoked in the Bible is to be bound. So all it's saying, if we want to just digest or decipher the words, is just saying equally bound. Are we equally bound to each other? Like, do I care for you? Do I love you? Do I understand you? Can we make compromises? Can we deal with each other when nobody else want to deal with us? Can you go to your other room when we need a little space? It's equally yoked. You see what I'm saying? We don't have the same money. You make way more money than I do. I mean, can you be in a relationship with somebody who make more money than you as a man? I'm not even asking as a woman, because as a woman, we understand, that's a lot, that goes on. That's really overstood when it comes to it. But as a man, a lot of men feel like they can't be in a relationship with a woman who make more money than them.
And I feel that if you love that person, it shouldn't even matter what the money is, as long as you two, my disclaimer.
Because
yeah, go ahead.
no, there could be some other issues, because why does that bother you as a man?
I think that most of those situations, when they are bothered, when they are, into some kind of conflict, I think the woman is actually, pulling his power out of him. Like, she's going after the power. She's not just making the most money, but she's actually doing, things to, make him feel like he's not the head.
Oh, then he got some other problems.
Yeah.
And what kind of problems would we say he got?
Because be the man, be the head.
How do you do that?
Because if I'm making more money, that shouldn't affect your power on you being the man. You are still the man. Because nobody shouldn't even know. That's our personal business in our house on who's making the money.
Check this out. When she come in the house, and food ready and stuff like that, she come in the house, you the man, right? Boom. Now you ain't cook no dinner? Why the house nasty? Well, you go to the store today?
Then he should, and then he check her right then.
But it's also understandable too.
Well, see, I disagree.
You said make the most money. You didn't say the homeboy wasn't working. Now, come on now.
Yeah, you didn't say he was just at home on the couch doing nothing.
Yeah,
Because
playing
if you at home
PlayStation
on the
all
couch-
day.
Yeah, now if you at home and you ain't doing nothing, at least this house needs to be clean. The food needs to be on the table. I mean, come on. Now, if you just saying making, you didn't say that.
I didn't make that distinction, did I?
No, you just ain't finna be sitting up here on my couch all day, because then it's become mine because you ain't doing nothing.
Oh my God. Hold up. Boy, y'all should have seen y'all expression. Say, that's too funny. Man, let me read some of these comments before I, go back on that one. Leslie Pope say, are you referring to someone who has no desire to become spiritual or someone who is not spiritual but desires to be? I'm saying both. Both. I'm actually talking about both. I'm just talking about spiritual compatibility. Now, you can be with somebody who actually has no desire to become spiritual. Because a lot of times when we're in relationships coming through life, especially when you're young, neither one of us have a desire to become spiritual. And somewhere along the way, one of us has a Damascus Road experience, and now all of a sudden we going to church every Sunday and everything, but you have this, relationship with this individual, you know what I'm saying? And so they don't have a desire to be spiritual, but you do now because you have a new life. You found a new life with Christ, and so that's just a different situation. So yeah, it can go both ways. That can go both ways on that, Miss Pope. And so she said, Quita Worm say it's a connection. It's more internal. Like if I'm having a terrible day and you come with words of encouragement that comes from the heart, or if you feeling a lot of different things, then pray for me. There may be times where the devil is just riding my back. Is where that's from? And so yeah, that's a good way to be spiritual compatible too. Sometimes, and I mean, a lot of us feel like we got to say these old long dragged out prayers. Whoa, God, fall on us and let your spirit fill this temple and all. Sometimes it's just as simple as God, please bring them peace.
Right.
Help them in Jesus' name and walk off. I mean, that is. You don't know how powerful that is for somebody to know you care about them that much to just say 5 words to Christ for them. Because it probably ain't been nobody in their life that didn't pray for them before. But here you come, Lord, help them. When everybody else just came in their life and said, yeah, you knew you wouldn't go shoot. You know how people is. Right. So that could change somebody's life. She said, the company I keep or the karma that do to me. I'm kind of lost on that one. But yeah, we can talk about that a little more. Quita say, there's a saying that opposites attract, but that could be a bleak as bleak as the saying. Right. And Leslie say that part. So let's talk about this distinction that I didn't make. I should have made the distinction.
Right.
Okay. So if he not working, right?
Mm-hmm. Why he not working?
Hey, he got 2 felonies, man. He can't find no job.
Why he ain't got a business?
Huh?
Why he start a business?
Sure, he ain't got no money. He just got out. He only been out a year.
How long they been married?
Sure, they ain't really been married that long. He just got out. He got married when he got out.
See, that was already a problem.
Miss Roz ain't gonna leave no room for nothing. I swear, man, she is gonna go in on y'all, man. But no, this is the thing, though. Do you push him down or do you encourage him?
No, you should encourage him. So there should have been already communication, conversations in regards to what the plan is for him, because I understand firsthand what it is to have a felony.
All right.
Okay. So, and to come home. So, okay.
So do you feel like it's easier for women with felonies to get, along faster than men with felonies?
No.
A felony is a felony.
The system is designed to make you fail. So absolutely not.
Okay. So what do you do to encourage him? You going into it, let's go and drive into it.
Okay. So like I said, we're going to have conversations and we're going to have a plan.
Okay.
So, and that entails, very being detailed. Okay. So what do you do? What do you desire to do? Since there's going to be an issue with you being able to actually go and work for somebody. So what type of job are you going to create for yourself?
Now, this leads me to my next compatibility. What if they're not intellectually compatible? Say, don't get quiet on me right now. Don't y'all get quiet. You know what it means.
So it was just about sex. It was just about.
So you mean to tell me that
Say, man,
can't make no money, you can't perform, and then you can't hold a conversation?
Now see, he was performing. That's why he at home and ain't
I didn't
working.
say it was all three of them wrapped in one.
I'm just saying.
I know that wasn't gonna make it.
See, I'm just saying.
That's why he at home, because he was performing.
Hello, Calvin. Say you got some. What you got, Calvin?
I just feel like if you're not compatible intellectually, you're not gonna know. They're both people not gonna know because they don't have intellect, right?
Well,
The one does not. That's
So you don't have intellect. Okay.
hello. One of us got some intellect. One of us is an intellectual.
On a serious note, for me, second to spirituality, this one means more to me than anything else.
Okay.
Because as we discussed before, an intellectual knows another intellectual when you talk to them.
Oh yeah.
And you know when somebody else is struggling when you talk to them.
Right.
And how people choose to speak and communicate and the vocabulary they choose to use is a personal choice.
Right.
And that means that how you choose to carry yourself is intentional.
Yes.
And I choose, then there's nothing I can do with that.
Wow. Wow.
I agree with Calvin
That's
wholeheartedly.
Say, do y'all agree with the? Dun Sheldon tuned in. It's about to go down on her. She said, "If you are not intellectually compatible, it won't work for me. I desire intellectual stimulation." I totally dig it.
Alitra said you got to help him.
You got to help him. You got to help him with the job. That's what she was talking about. You got to help him find a job. But if he's not, and I'm not just gonna say he, but what about she? If they're not intellectually compatible, not saying that they're the smartest, because you may not be the smartest,
Right.
but if you ain't quite smart, and they not,
then Dumb and Dumber, we got problems.
Well, then you got to look at it. It just depends on which area that it is that you. I mean, intellect is intellect. But if you see that y'all supposed to be compatible, and this is something that I see that I can help you in, so you can grow to have the same language,
Right.
But if you dummy down your conversation because they don't understand it, then that means that if this is your person, you help them understand.
right?
So you just got to be able to teach them. It's got to be, it just depends on how far you want that person to be intellectually. If you trying to be up there with a doctorates and all this stuff here, and hey, you married a person that's in construction and incapable. I'm like, wait, baby, you performing on people. I'm building blocks.
Right.
So you got to know.
But if they compatible with you in every other area, but intellectually and financially, then what do you do?
Well,
They can learn.
You can learn. See, because financially,
Compromise.
you're going to have to compromise and sacrifice in something. So, money.
Calvin, what you think?
Well, for me, why I say that's second most important, because I've been there where I've been incompatible intellectually.
Right.
And what that turns into is they can never challenge me, and they can never come back into me. I'm always pouring into them. I'm always advising them. They're always bouncing ideas off of me. I can never bounce nothing off of them.
Right.
So eventually that becomes very draining.
Right.
And what it turns into is now
A charity case.
You're intriguing to them. And you're having to pour out more than you have.
Right.
And it just becomes a draining situation.
Right.
So for me, I have to be compatible intellectually.
Yeah, because I need
That's
you to
good.
deposit in me. I need
Oh,
you to
yeah.
be able
That's
to
good.
deposit some things into me as I'm doing it into
Now
you.
let me say this: it's one thing to be intellectually incompatible, but it's another thing to not try to be
Right.
compatible intellectually. Now there are some people who are actually capable of reaching your level of intellectuality. The only problem is when they don't try. Now if I see somebody trying, that'll be the icing on the cake for me. All right, we can make this work.
Right.
But if you're not even trying to be intellectually compatible, like you just stuck on dumb, chances are I'm gonna find you a good way to go. I'm not. I'm not going to
a good way to go.
Right, because I'm an intellectual. Well, a bad way is to just let you drown and just kick you to the curb, watch you fall, all that stuff. A good way is to help you find a job and leave you right there on the job. Like, yeah, I got you. Boom, you good? Yeah. I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? This ain't gonna work for me.
So that's your exit plan.
That's always my exit plan. I always buy my way out of relationships. I will never leave a relationship just cut it off. I always buy my way out because I don't want to say, I don't want nobody to say, well, you just cold blooded, you just left. No. If you know about any relationship I've had, I would rather buy my way out of a relationship and get my peace.
Absolutely,
So
because it's priceless.
It's priceless.
Yeah,
it don't matter. I'll pay for. And people are always, take your money if they not really for you anyway. I guarantee you, they're always.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you got to watch that kind of stuff. Leslie Pope saying, look, communication is key. Now, we talked about sexual compatibility. We talked about spiritual compatibility. We talked about intellectual compatibility. So, what about emotional compatibility?
Yes, because you have to be able to understand.
I think that is
I'm
a
feeling.
really important.
Yeah,
that
you got to
is.
understand what I'm feeling.
And so we talked about emotional IQ. Emotional IQ is being able to recognize, not just, because everybody expresses emotions differently, right? But you have to be able to recognize that emotion in that individual. Whoever you're in a relationship with, you're compatible with them. And so that's emotional IQ. A lot of people have no emotional IQ. Like, they do not know when you feeling, how you feeling, what you feeling, why you feeling.
They're not in tune with you.
So they're incompatible.
Right.
So can you have a relationship with somebody who's emotionally incompatible with you? I think that's almost as important as intellectuality and financial and spirituality.
If you can't see when I'm going through something.
Yeah.
And it's just, you walk right past that, you see, that's like you seeing me struggle and you can't help me.
Right.
And it's not, you're not willing to help me.
Right.
I can't have that. I'm sorry. That's a, no, baby, you can go.
It ain't gonna work.
It ain't gonna work for me.
What you think, Calvin?
I think first is you have to try to establish, do they really not have emotional IQ, or
are they not even you?
Struggling with talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you don't speak English doesn't mean you can't communicate.
Right.
You may speak Spanish, French, something else very fluently, but you're just not speaking English. That doesn't mean that you don't know how to communicate. You just don't know how to communicate with me.
Okay.
So I think that it just has to be established. Are they not listening? Are they not understanding? Do they not care?
Right.
Or are they just struggling?
Right. And so after you determine what you determine, can you be with them if they're not emotionally compatible?
If this is the only thing they lack in everything that we talked about, I think this is one of the easier things to teach.
Well,
Still didn't answer my question.
I think, like Dunshell, if you comment,
Yeah, I want
like
that answer.
some men think a sign of emotions is weakness. And I feel that is true too, because some of them, most men are not taught to be vulnerable. They're not taught to show your feelings or
Emotions
and
cry
things
and
and cry
like
like
that.
that's not okay, because they've been, as a kid, the first thing you get punched in your boy, suck them tears up. What you crying for?
Yeah.
This is, and so when you get in a relationship, because that's the relationship that was established when you was a kid, not
Right.
to show emotion. So when you get with a woman that has an emotion, you looking at her like she crazy. Like, what am I supposed to do with that?
Right.
So that's where you got to change the narrative to where it's okay for a man to be vulnerable and show me who you are, because if I don't know how to help you,
Right.
if you can't show me who you are, and that's everything. You got to be naked at one point.
Say, I was one of those kids. You see me crying, you might want to move around.
I wanted him to.
Once I got that tear coming, oh yeah, somebody finna get it. You hear me? I'm finna wipe your nose. Something finna happen. Yeah, I was one of them kids. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but once you see that tear,
That's me when I get
Yeah.
me, because I'd rather walk off from you than to show that type of emotion, because that tear for me is mean that I don't see nothing else but hurting you.
Yeah.
I don't see nothing but hurting you. So for me to get to that emotion, let me go over here. Let me exit.
but it's so hard to walk off when you know you ain't did nothing to deserve this situation. You know what I'm saying? But that was my emotion. Like I wasn't one of those kids that hid their tears. You know what I'm saying? When I felt like I was being, insignificantly treated or, degraded or mistreated in any way, I will let you know, and I will let you know I feel some type of way about it. And if you keep on trying to handle me like that, yeah, them tears finna show you what them tears finna do. Like, And I don't even care. I'm finna cry and whoop you at the same time. And when they come in here, they gonna be wondering what happened and who did what to who. Cause I'm gonna be crying, you gonna be crying. And, and you know, when you a kid, when you a kid, you be like, they started it. They started it with me. I used to do that all the time. Yeah, I'm the weaker vessel once the people come. Yeah, that was me. That was me. I promise that was me. But I was a kid. That ain't me no more. I promise. So, what about you, Lady Roz? What you feel about that?
About the emotion?
Yeah.
About you whooping on them people? About you whooping on somebody?
Bro, we all did that. I ain't trying to hear it. I'm just the one being honest about it. Come on, with what you got emotional.
You know, see, I wasn't like that as a kid.
You was different.
I was.
And that's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
I mean, and even as
so
an
you
adult,
judging me like right now?
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh, okay. So we good. Y'all know I got some hood folks on here.
I got some sisters, and you know
they was like that.
Listen, no talk is on.
That's Carnella.
Man,
you know, like they had that T-shirt that say, "I got a weapon. It's my sister, and you better watch out how you."
Yeah, that's my sister.
So, but I wanted to know your take on the emotional compatibility as far as what you were saying about men hiding their emotion and stuff like that. Why do you feel like men do that?
I think it is because I think they do it because of the way that they were raised, and at some point. When they get in a relationship, when they feel like they can be naked, so to speak, and be able to be totally transparent, then that's when they'll grow and they'll just open up. And so, because they understand that, okay, I can let you in.
Right.
I'm okay that this is a safe place for me.
Exactly.
Because also in the past, you do have to create that safe place. Just like y'all created for us, we have to create that for you as well.
So it's okay for a man to cry when you about to leave him, saying,
No, baby, that ain't okay.
That ain't okay?
That's not what we're talking about.
But it's all right for a woman to do it.
I mean, it's okay if that's how he feeling.
Yeah, exactly. If you
stand up for that weak nigga. No, I'm just saying.
No,
I'm fooling with you.
I'm high side. I promise I'm high side. You know
I mean, but if you crying, if you sad because she finna go,
that's your
then
emotion.
Hey, you better let it out.
Hey, you better let her know love is real.
That's right. Maybe she didn't know you cared like that, player. That might save your relationship.
I'm done.
But no, that ain't gonna save it. Some people it may save it. But if you done all that and that crying gonna be the last thing, I'm gonna be looking at you like you should have been crying 8 months ago. So ain't no use to save them tears, baby.
Lord have mercy. So I mean, we talked about all the levels of compatibility in a relationship. And we got through them in a timely fashion. I'm glad that we got through those last 3 because that was really important to me. I wanted to know, so what's the one incompatibility that you were willing to deal with? I think Calvin's is emotional incompatibility because he said that's the one that's easier for him to fix. I don't know about sex. Is you?
Yeah. Say that again.
Yeah, you heard the question. So y'all put it in the chat, man. What's the one incompatibility that you can deal with? That's a good question. I want to know.
Me, it's gonna be emotional. I can't deal with a person that can't bear all with me. You know what I'm saying? Especially
that's the one that you can. That's the one that would stop you from being in a relationship, or that's the one that you can deal with.
No, that would stop me from being in a relationship.
What's the one that you can deal with?
I would say sex.
Both of the women say sex. Calvin said emotion.
I can say sex.
I can dig it.
What would be yours?
Right, you thought you was getting off the hook.
What would be yours?
Oh my God.
Oh, come on now.
I'm gonna say emotional. I'm a man. For one, we are we're not really too in tune with the emotional stuff anyway. So that's the one thing that we can actually tune into and be like, you know what? I can deal with that, But intellectuality would be the one thing that would probably, turn me away from, and not just not being on my level, but not even,
like you say, trying
to get to a certain intellectual, because I love having intellectual conversations. I like to talk about astronomy. I like to talk about astrology. I like to talk about scripture. I like to go in depth with scripture. I like to talk about your aspirations, your desires. I like to talk about the dream you had last night and trying to decipher why you in here dreaming about whooping somebody. You done kicked me like 3 times. I promise my wife didn't have this dream. I ain't tell him, baby. I promise I ain't tell him that you had this dream. You done kicked me like 3 times. I done woke you up. You wake up, talking trash, people. Why are we having these dreams? I like to have those in-depth conversations.
Don't put my cousin at that.
No, she didn't actually kick me, though. She didn't kick me. She didn't kick me. Okay. All right, but it was crazy. It was real. But we talked about compatibility. So I want to know, can y'all just put in the comments real quick, what is the one incompatibility that you are willing to work with? And the one that we're totally in awe. Just real quick, put it in.
And I got a quick question for you since you mentioned it. Do you believe, since you brought it up, I'm going to say, sorry about saying I don't believe in it, but do you believe that zodiac signs contribute to compatibility?
I am not totally in agreement with zodiac signs and stuff like that, because according to zodiac signs, me and my wife are incompatible. And I've never had a more compatible partner. Unless I was just surrounded by incompatible people. But I don't think that was the deal on it. What do y'all think?
I don't believe in that. I do believe in what some of the signs represent for the person, but far as it being a compatible thing, I don't believe in it.
Yeah, me either.
She ain't even gonna comment on it. She just finna leave it right there. Okay, I see y'all ain't finna get in the chat with it and let me know what be the one thing that break you or make you. But that's all right. Look, compatibility is something that you have to strive for. Compatibility doesn't happen overnight. I'm sorry. You're not going to meet your perfect compatible partner.
Right.
That's not going to happen. And compatibility has to be expressed. You have to express who you are for you to see if they're compatible with who you are. Unless y'all just playing the guessing game. And so with compatibility, there can be areas where you're not compatible. It's okay. Like, you don't have to be compatible in every area. But I'm pretty sure there are some people out there that feel like if you're not sexually compatible, that's it. We can't work, because I value sex a lot. Like, it's right. For some people, all of them are right next to each other. There is no, wavering in the lines, right. And that's okay. But compatibility is very important in a relationship. Period. The problem is when compatibility becomes competition.
I agree.
If you're in a competition, chances are you're not gonna make it anyway. So what's your take on it?
My take is, like I say, either way it goes, when it comes to compatibility and all aspects of it, it's the person in you. Mm-hmm. And communication is what's going to get you through it in the first place. Like right. You say, you have to be in the same book.
Right.
Not 17 chapters ahead of me, but you got to be growing through it together. And right. Even if you get in a chapter to where I understand and you don't understand, help me understand, right. So where we can still continue the growth that or the path that we're trying to be on.
Right.
But when you don't do that, that's when compatibility, that's when all that other stuff plays a part in it. Because then you're not compatible, because you're not willing to grow with each other, learn with each other, and help each other. Because right. That's a weakness then. Because if you're not gonna help the person that you said that this is our end goal,
right? That's one of them. That's one of them secret manipulators. Right. I'm telling you, they tricking you. They tricking you. Better be careful, boo boo. She said, "I think you need to be more than compatible. Character is what I look at." Yeah, that is a form of compatibility, also. Mm-hmm. I should have talked about character compatibility. That is a form of compatibility. Like, got to have a certain character. You got to at least have character, right. For one. Some people ain't got no character, right? They just ain't got no character. So, Lady Roz, what you got?
Well, I think you should make sure you know what your desires are first, because you got to first know yourself.
Right.
And with that, making sure that you and your mate are in the same book. So, because you have a common goal,
Right.
and work towards that.
Right.
Know that sometimes it's a compromise.
Right. So, Calvin, what you got, man? Because you over there, you been in the show the whole time. What you got on compatibility?
No, that's about it. I mean, I just think that I believe in life. We only get one soulmate, and that's the person who you essentially can be most compatible with, and we can miss it due to, as you say, Pastor Dixon says all the time, whoever has our ear has our influence,
Right?
And not allowing other people to influence what they deem compatible for me.
Right.
Whatever I feel is most compatible for me, and not allowing other people to speak for you.
Right.
Then just kind of walk on what you feel is best for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said too, don't confuse proximity with intimacy, which is what we're going to be talking about next week. We're going to be talking about intimacy. Yeah, y'all come on, talk about it. Like, some of y'all have no idea what intimacy is. So that's what we're going to be talking about next week. Y'all come back with your notes, come back with your good talk, Dunshell. Please come back. Y'all all who come in, and Quita, you come back. Leslie, come back. David, come back. Y'all come back. Next week, we going to be talking about not compatibility. We just talking about intimacy. Can you be in relationship with somebody you're not intimate with? And it's not happening. It's not happening. We ain't going to even talk about it right now because I know that this is going to drive somebody up a wall. And how do you know you're intimate with somebody? Like, I think intimacy is a form of compatibility.
Absolutely.
It is. Like, yeah, we're going to talk about it. You got to think about it. Yeah, we're going to talk about it next week, man. It's going. She say, no, no, yeah. Know what, Dunshell?
I mean, no, she can't be in that. You
can't be in it? You can be in it. She says she can't be in a relationship with somebody she can't be intimate with.
Right.
I got you. Okay, well, some people don't know how to be intimate. Some people don't know how.
But that's because when most people think of intimacy, they think of just sex.
See, we already going into the conversation. We got to say, listen. We got to hold it for next week. Intimacy will be the topic. Y'all tune in, man. I can't wait to see y'all. Say, it's your boy Shelby.
Lady Rise.
This Disha.
Hey, man, I'm so glad y'all tuned in, man. Say, if you ain't with somebody you compatible with, then you must be in a competition. But we appreciate y'all coming by and chatting it up with us. Say, next week, come back, man. We go chat it up. Peace.